de vocês que a gente faz essa gravação. All right. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here. My name is Luis Maia, and I'm your teacher for this class in Behavioral Economics of Global Affairs. Sometimes I forget that my English is really poor and I speak too fast. Please raise your hand, make some noise, switch on your mic and tell me, hey Luis, slow down please, if that is the case. All right? I'm gonna try and remember and try to speak slow and I don't know, try to help you out to understand my poor English. Okay? All right, guys. You can see that my neighbors here are a little bit noisier today. But then again, if they start to be too noisy, I'm gonna move to another room, but let's try. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so a few announcements first. I was supposed to give you some extra exercises, some new exercises, those that will be graded. So I would have you submit some answers to questions and I will take grades for those. But I didn't have time this week, so I'm sorry for that. We are gonna postpone it. So over this weekend, I'm gonna submit some questions, and you guys will have all the way to the next Friday, so you can submit your answers. Okay? Still, it's gonna be something like 8 to 12 questions, quick and very easy. Okay? No big deal. All right. So let me start sharing my screen here with you and talk a little bit about the subjects of today, the topics of today. We are going to talk about, we're going to talk about persuasion. Wait, we already talked about that. It's all right. We're just going to refresh our memory a little bit. We're going to talk about persuasion. Then we're going to introduce something new, which is nudge. Nudge em português is empurrãozinho, uma ajudinha na direção de uma decisão que vai ser favorável à própria pessoa. All right, so we're going to talk about nudge, and then we're going to talk about the evil twin of nudge, which is sludge. I don't think many of you have heard about sludge before. So this is going to be new, right? Something completely new for most of you. But then again, sludge is something that we Brazilian people are used to. We are used to that. We see that in our everyday life. Not only in Brazil, all over the world, but especially in Brazil, where we have so much red tape. Red tape, fita vermelha, what is that? Red tape is an idiomatic expression. It means bureaucracy, burocracia, okay? Red tape, a tradução seria fita vermelha, mas em português, burocracia excessiva, burocracia bizarra. All right, so we're going to talk about all of those today, okay? If you have a question, if I'm going too fast, please let me know. Raise your hand, post something in our chat, or I don't know, just open up your mic and tell me to slow down if that is the case. All right? Okay, so we have discussed before Cialdini's work, As Armas da Persuasão. This guy is big shot, you know. He has a huge consultancy firm. He makes tons of money. He's like a celebrity because he published this book and he sold over 2 million copies of it. So what he's talking about? Well, nothing new, but he's kind of putting together some of the techniques that for a long time have been used by marketing services, right? So how will we get our clients to say yes? So how we influence someone so that they will eventually make a decision that is favorable to us, not for themselves, but to us, all right? So we talked about 6 elements of persuasion. First one is reciprocity. So if I'm very nice to you, I treat you well, I give you lots of good things, and I show you all respect and attention to you, you may feel like you have an obligation with me. You may feel like you are supposed to retribute and to somehow compensate me. So people in marketing, they know that. So sometimes they create this idea that they are performing some service to you free of charge, and then all of a sudden they see you signing a contract with them and buying some stuff. So this is a very powerful way to motivate and to persuade someone to engage in some sort of business with us. All right? So far, so good. Please put out your okay signs there. Everybody okay? Well, I guess so. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, thanks, Isabelle. Now I see someone just raising the thumb there. Okay. The second one is scarcity. Okay, this is one of those words that when I taught in the US, I spent a lot of semesters usually saying scarcity. And most of people in America, they say scarcity. So this is how poor my English is. But anyway, so scarcity, escassez, well, we are economists. We know a lot about that, right? So if we convince someone that some deal is just about to go off, you either have to take it right now or you're going to lose it, then we get people to say yes, right? So this is a one in a lifetime opportunity. It's now or never, and then people just say yes to us. The third one is authority. So if you get someone really important, respectable, and this person says something like, yeah, you should buy such and such product, people do respond to that. Consistency, well, we would like to feel like we have stable choices. We make stable choices. So it gives us some comfort when we go to a supermarket and you say, okay, my shopping here, my weekly shopping here is about 200 reais. Toda semana eu venho aqui, eu gasto de 200 a 250 reais. That's the usual stuff. If anytime, for any reason, I spend like 250, 300 reais, I don't feel okay. So we like to have things stay the way they are, right? Some marketing business, they also know that. And they try to convince you to keep buying some stuff, even though sometimes you don't have any more usage for that. So consistency is something that you can either convince people or stimulate people to make decisions that will benefit us, ourselves, the sellers, the providers of some good or services. Okay? Then we have affect, which means feelings, emotions. Yeah, have you ever guys noticed that how people have pets like small dogs, puppies, or cats in commercials for to sell cars? I mean, you're trying to sell a vehicle, and for some reason in the commercials you see like little dogs and cats. What's the connection? Nothing. There's no rational connection. But people know that if you show a puppy in the commercial, everybody's gonna look at that TV screen, right? So it draws people's attention. It works. So they use that. They use many symbols that will somehow touch your heart. and will convince you to purchase more or to purchase such and such brand of a product. Okay? And finally, consensus or conformity. If people tell you that 9 billion people buy some stuff, you're going to feel like you should too. We don't want to be out of the group. We don't want to be, I don't know, behave strangely, behave in a non-normal way, right? So conformity is one of the strongest forces to uh, to build behavior or to manipulate behavior. Wait, when I use the word manipulate, you may feel like it's too a strong word, right? But no, that's exactly what I'm talking about. All these elements you are seeing right there, we are talking about manipulation. Okay? We're talking about really persuading people to do things that many times they are not likely to do by themselves. Okay, so this is the bad part of business. And Cialdini is a very smart guy. So he was supposed to sell these techniques, to sell the book describing and teaching these techniques, but he didn't want to look like the bad guy. So what does he do? Well, that's what he does. He tells you como influenciar e não se deixar influenciar. So supposedly, what he's trying to do is to raise awareness, aumentar a consciência, a sensibilidade das pessoas para esse problema. But come on, right? This guy is making tons of money with these techniques. Okay, we have talked
Professor,
about... Yes, sure.
can I ask a question?
Sure, please.
What's the difference between manipulation and persuasion?
Well, I don't think for our purpose here, there is too much of a difference. I think manipulation is a little bit stronger in a sense that people may do something that it is against their own will, right? If you're manipulated, you say, I did that, but that was not my intention. I was led to do something that was not my intention. Persuasion, I can convince you, and later on, you may have to struggle with the idea that, well, if I did that, maybe I really wanted. No, I think I was manipulated. No, I wanted it. So it's like a softer way to influence people. When you're talking about manipulating, I think it's such a strong idea, a stronger idea, in which you may lead people to do things against their free will, right? So it's a little bit more invasive way of talking about. It's a more invasive and aggressive sort of persuasion.
Because I watch a guy at YouTube, and he talks that manipulation and persuasion is like the same thing with two names. It's like psychopath and sociopath. It's the same thing, but two names.
I see.
And when I when I think when I sorry, I forgot the verb.
Say in Portuguese.
But quando eu pensei, porque eu já tava no inglês, eu tava pensando em inglês.
It's okay.
Quando eu pensei para pensar, é praticamente a mesma coisa, porque se você for manipulado, você não vai saber. Mesma coisa da persuasão, pelo menos na questão de marketing, assim, né? E para essa questão aí do livro também, porque você vai ser manipulado do mesmo jeito na persuasão, porque você às vezes não vai saber de onde você foi persuadido. E na manipulação também, a pessoa vai manipular você a fazer o que ela quer, e na persuasão ela vai persuadir você a fazer o que ela quer. Então, assim, eu acredito, eu vejo hoje a mesma coisa. Eu queria saber se para a comportamental tem essa diferença.
I'm going to answer to you in English, and if you don't understand, I will answer in Portuguese, okay? Okay, so let me give you... Okay, sure. So let me give you two examples, all right? Let's suppose that I'm in a store, in a shopping mall or something like that, and I feel that there's too many people there. There are too many people, and I want to have a calmer place, an emptier room or something like that. All right. So what can I do? I can just say, look, hey guys, look, I heard that someone is having a very good deal out there in the older story or in the other story. So I can tell people, look, this is a good place, but they are selling it for much smaller price somewhere else. Okay, so I can tell people it's a lie, and I'm trying to persuade them to leave the place. It's a lie, and I mean it's not good. This is what I call persuasion. Now, let me give you another example. Let's suppose that I scream, "Fire! Get out of here, fire!" And then people run crazy, very scared. And then I say, yeah, it was a lie. You see, the second case, it's much more aggressive. So, in my opinion, persuasion includes manipulation. Persuasion is the general aspect of it, and manipulation, in my opinion, it's a little bit more aggressive. It's more invasive and probably is more detrimental to the person suffering that influence. You see my point?
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So we go. I showed you some of these examples. The lady giving some cookies with, I don't know, with some butter to the kid, and the mother is like considering buying it, but she feels like, yeah, she's being so nice to my child, then I should buy this stuff. And in the other case here, you're having like, yeah, it's only until May the 3rd, otherwise you're gonna lose it. Please come. So the first one we are talking about a fact. The second one we are talking about scarcity, right? All right. So let's play. Let's have this joke here. It's not a joke, but I'm saying it's a play. It's a funny game. All right. Let's have a look at persuasion in organizations. I'm going to copy this address here, and then you guys will have to access this form. Please notice this is not an exercise for grade, okay? We are just playing a game. We are having fun. This is not for grade. I mean, don't worry. Just have fun with this, okay? So I'm going to put this thing here in the chat, the address, and I'm going to divide you guys in groups so you can answer those questions and talk about them among yourselves, okay? Let's see how many people we have in the class right now. All right, I have 18 people, so I will make 6 groups of 3 people, and I'm gonna give you guys, let's say, 20 minutes, maybe less, 18 minutes, okay? 6 groups, assign automatically, create. Let me just make the options here. I'm give you 18 minutes. I think those are fine. Okay. There we go. Please accept your invitation. And if something happens, please come back here to the main room and I'm going to help you out. Boa noite, pessoal. Vocês conseguiram colocar o link? Vou colocar aqui de novo, tá? Conversem entre vocês, tá bom?
Tá, obrigada.
Samuel, Carlos, Letícia, vocês estão tendo algum probleminha para entrar no grupo lá? How did it go, guys? Time was enough? Did you have time to work through all the questions? Kind of, right, Talia? I know, it's a bit too fast, but then again, we are going to go over the questions right now, okay? All right, people are coming back here, and you will all be back in just a few seconds. Let's see. Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Okay, everybody. Thanks for participating in this game. I'm gonna share my screen again, and then we're gonna try and have a look at your answers, okay? How did you guys do? Well, first of all, let me stress this, highlight it very much. There is no right answer in any of these questions, okay? There are the most likely answer, okay? We're gonna try and see through that mirror, okay? All right, so here we go. Ao entrar pela primeira vez no escritório do gerente de compras de uma empresa com quem você gostaria de fazer negócio, você nota uma foto do mascote da equipe de sua universidade na parede. Isso é um exemplo bem americano, né? Mas você consegue imaginar assim o mascote do time de futebol e tal. Tá. O que você deve fazer? Mencionar que foi para a mesma universidade antes de discutir negócios. Essa 93% de vocês identificaram que você vai ganhar uma certa benevolência, vai eventualmente ser tratado como alguém que, né, teve um passado comum, e aí pode ser que isso te traga vantagem. Pessoal, vamos lembrar que isso aqui é persuasão, tá? Então eu não estou ensinando ninguém a fazer isso. Mais uma vez, eu não sou o Cialdini aqui, não estou vendendo isso, não acho nem que isso sempre deve ser usado. Mas eu estou tentando chamar a atenção para vocês de o que é persuasão, como que ela é usada no dia a dia, tá? Segunda, você está tentando convencer o conselho de administração de sua empresa que é melhor implementar uma revisão cara para uma função de back-office. Você sabe que o conselho está muito preocupado com os custos, então você também formulou 2 planos alternativos, que são menos caros e menos abrangentes. Quando chegar a hora de sua apresentação, qual das seguintes alternativas você deve usar para obter o resultado ideais? Ou seja, o maior grau de mudança que o conselho apoiará. Então, o conselho é contra gastar dinheiro agora. Você acredita que aquilo é o melhor para a empresa, mas você tem 3 alternativas. Qual que é a forma mais persuasiva de apresentar? Aí tem aqui, descreva primeiro a revisão mais barata. Essa certamente é a pior ideia, tá, gente? A primeira informação que você dá, ela é geralmente tomada como referência. E se você descrever primeiro a mais barata, essa é a maneira segura de garantir que o conselho não vai escolher a mais cara, tá? Então, as 2 melhores alternativas aí é você ou descrever primeiro a mais cara, ou você descrever primeiro a de médio alcance e perguntar se ele quer ouvir a mais cara. Agora, mesmo essa, descrever primeiro a de médio alcance e depois perguntar se ele quer ouvir a mais cara e mais barata, há uma chance muito grande que ele vai dizer que quer ouvir a mais barata. Então, se você quiser realmente usar persuasão, a melhor maneira é descrever primeiro a mais cara. Essa vai ser a referência, tá? Geralmente, tá? Não necessariamente, mas geralmente, tá? Se você descrever a mais barata, que foi o que venceu aqui nas opções de vocês, essa é a chance, é a maior chance de você não conseguir que a mais cara seja adotada. Claro, né, gente, guardada todas as condições de um experimento, eventualmente a gente vai ter outros argumentos que não apenas o preço, tá? Questão 3. Sua empresa está lançando um novo produto e seu chefe pede que você participe da decisão de marketing. Ele está considerando 2 opções para gerar interesse inicial do público. Oferecer uma redução do preço por um tempo limitado ou oferecer uma redução do preço até um certo número de unidades serem ofertadas. Qual dos 2 que é mais efetivo? E aí um monte de gente marcou aqui o tempo limitado. Na verdade, o tempo limitado é o mais comum, é o que a gente vê nas propagandas e tal. Mas se vocês repararem nessas propagandas, vocês vão ver que lá está dizendo assim, tempo até tal dia ou quando acabarem os estoques. Então, na verdade, a prática mais comum é usar os 2. É tempo limitado e um número limitado. Dito isso, a forma de fazer a pessoa correr para a sua loja e comprar logo, se ela quer comprar, é dizer que o número de unidades é limitado. Essa é a forma de, se você tem pessoas querendo comprar o produto e vendo que elas estão postergando, deixando para uma outra hora e tal, você fala assim, eu só tenho essas quantidades, vendeu, acabou, e aí as pessoas tem uma sensação de escassez muito mais forte, tá? Então, aqui, surpreendentemente, muitos de vocês marcaram tempo limitado, mas a maneira mais agressiva de tentar persuadir alguém é dizer que o número de unidades é limitado, daí ela fica com uma sensação clara de que ela está na iminência de ter uma perda. Questão 4. Você tem uma reunião importante agendada com um cliente em potencial. Você sabe pelas suas discussões anteriores que o interlocutor está impressionado com sua proposta, mas não acredita que implementar suas ideias neste momento específico seja uma prioridade. Qual das seguintes abordagens você deveria adotar? Primeiro, enfatize o que ele perderá se não implementar suas ideias no momento. 60% de vocês já tem uma ideia bem clara. Isso aqui, mais uma vez, gente, é a aversão à perda. A aversão à perda a gente aprendeu lá na teoria do prospecto, Prospect Theory. E essa é uma forma muito forte de despertar as pessoas para determinada... um detalhe, tá, gente? Uma informação importante aqui na questão 4. Se você mentir, você pode perder a credibilidade. Então, você tem que ser honesto aqui, tá? Tem que ser aversão à perda, mas se você forçar demais a barra e perder credibilidade, você pode perder o cliente de maneira geral. O interlocutor perde totalmente a confiança em você. Tá, e é mais ou menos um pouco do que acontece na questão 5. Na questão 5 é aquela história de um político que, de alguma forma, perdeu a confiança do público. Por algum evento, sei lá, às vezes se envolveu em algum caso, mas depois não foi provado nada contra ele e tal. Tá, aí o que você faz? Como é que você vai propor que o seu candidato é melhor do que um candidato que é reconhecidamente bom naquele aspecto? Aí vem as opções. Vocês escolheram aqui, não menciona o outro candidato. Vai para o conceito geral. Combater o crime é uma questão crítica, parará, parará, parará. Essa, de fato, é uma boa estratégia, tá? Mas não é a mais eficaz. A mais eficaz nesse caso é você tentar recobrar a sua reputação. Como é que você recobra a reputação? Dizendo assim, eu falo tanto a verdade que eu até sei reconhecer as qualidades do meu oponente. Então, por incrível que pareça, aqui uma maneira persuasiva seria falar assim, embora meu oponente tenha de fato um bom histórico de combate ao crime, ou então dizer, meu oponente não foi longe o suficiente. E aí, nos dois casos, você está dando algum valor para aquele... Então, aqui a questão é reputação. E reputação, você precisa demonstrar que você é capaz até de agir contra seu próprio interesse para falar a verdade. Então, aí, nesse caso, é um caso especial de persuasão. Questão 6. Imagine que você é um consultor financeiro e você acredita que um cliente seu, que é bem jovem, está investindo de forma muito conservadora. A fim de persuadi-lo, o que você faz? Mostra para ele o que ele está perdendo. E é isso que a maior parte dos analistas fazem quando encontram um novo cliente. Tá? E falar assim, você está deixando dinheiro na poupança? Deixa eu te mostrar aqui. Ó. Se você tivesse aplicado em tal coisa em 2019, hoje você teria tanto. Mostrando tudo que ele tem a perder se não mudar aquela atitude. Questão 7. Em um debate que antecede a tomada de decisão pela sua equipe, se você tem uma nova informação, quando você deve mencionar? Imediatamente. A ideia de novidade, de coisa nova, inovação, desperta, brilha os nossos olhinhos. A gente olha com mais carinho quando recebe a informação de que vai participar de algo novo ou inovador.
Professor,
tá? Pois não.
Eu entendi aí que seria uma situação, uma informação nova, pelo menos eu entendi isso na questão. Seria uma informação nova antes de um debate, antes de alguma coisa que fosse importante. Então, aí na minha visão foi, se eu falar isso para a equipe pode entrar em choque. Pode
Entendi.
não curtir. Então, seria melhor falar após. A professora falaria durante, sem o pessoal saber que era nova ou não, e depois falaria que seria menos traumático ou não, dependendo do curso.
Eu entendi a sua estratégia, mas olha só, como público, se você passar 15, 20 minutos fazendo uma apresentação para mim e no final falar assim, olha, a propósito dessa ideia, esqueci de mencionar, ela é totalmente nova, ninguém nunca tentou. é como se você tivesse desperdiçado essa ideia em capturar a atenção das pessoas para ela. Então, ao usar essa informação, né, de que a ideia é nova, você desperta as pessoas um nível maior de atenção com o que está sendo proposto. Então,
sim, nesse sentido, sim, eu concordo.
legal. Questão 8. Você tem a responsabilidade de motivar a força de vendas de sua empresa e aumentar seu desempenho anual. Ele foi dito pelo seu supervisor para estabelecer metas para os vendedores e responsabilizá-los. Qual das seguintes estratégias seria mais eficaz? Gente, quando você publica, quando você anuncia publicamente alguma coisa, o seu senso de conformidade, né, de consistência está em jogo. As pessoas têm de si uma imagem e se cobram pela imagem social que elas têm. Então, assim, um professor, nem todos os professores, mas um professor, quando ele está dirigindo dentro do campus, ele dirige bem devagarzinho. Nem todos, tá? Mas quando ele faz isso, por quê? Porque ali dentro do campus da universidade, ele tem uma reputação, ele tem uma imagem. Então ele se cobra, mesmo que ele seja descuidado em dirigir dentro do condomínio dele ou na rua, quando ele entra dentro do campus, ele tem cuidado com o que ele está passando como imagem, tá? Então, dizer que um colaborador vai anunciar publicamente a meta é a maneira mais, digamos assim, persuasiva de tentar fazê-lo se comprometer com aquela meta, tá? Não é muito sensível, não é muito solidário. Esse tipo de coisa pode gerar um desconforto, pode criar um clima de animosidade dentro da equipe, mas tem organizações que fazem exatamente isso. Tem organizações que se esmeram em criar uma competição até um pouco selvagem dentro da própria organização. Vem à cabeça os exemplos da Coca-Cola, da Ambev no Brasil, mas tem muitas outras empresas que fazem isso também. Questão 9. Você está tendo dificuldades com o desgaste dos funcionários, então você organiza um retiro para unir e energizar a equipe. Você quer dar a cada membro um presente por participar, algo que irá reforçar o compromisso do colaborador. O que você faz? Dê a cada funcionário um presente personalizado. Então aqui 80% de vocês identificaram. A ideia do significado é mais importante, a grande maioria das vezes, do que o preço. Quais são as desvantagens dessa escolha? Ora, a desvantagem dessa escolha é que as pessoas podem chegar e falar assim, ah, não, o que ele está fazendo é fingir uma proximidade, fingir uma relação que não existe. Então, pode ser entendido como sendo uma tentativa de manipulação e aí pode backfire, pode dar para trás, pode ter o efeito contrário. De toda forma, essa parece ser uma maneira, digamos assim, mais eficaz. E aí a gente estava falando sobre aquele negócio de sortear. A prática mais comum é sortear. O que há de errado e o que há de bom em sortear? Gente, a ideia do sorteio, por um lado, você fala assim, eu não privilegiei ninguém. Eu fiz um agrado a todos e eu não privilegiei ninguém. Não tratei ninguém como meu favorito. Então tem um senso de justiça no sorteio. Por outro lado, tem uma mensagem muito ruim e que é interessante porque esse negócio é usado com frequência. A ideia é que aqui você não está dando mérito, você não está vendo mérito. Mérito, não, pelo menos naquela ocasião, não é tão importante. Você está tirando a discussão do mérito. Fala assim, olha, aqui todo mundo é igual, independente do quanto você se esforçou. Então aqui tem esse lado que pode ser ruim também. Mas de toda forma, geralmente, em final do ano, todo mundo quer ser solidário, quer ser bonzinho e eventualmente quer valorizar mesmo as pessoas com as quais a gente tem certas desavenças e tal. Então, acho que é por isso que essa solução é sempre usada. Faz sentido? Pessoal, como eu disse, isso é uma brincadeira, mas tem um fundo de verdade aí, tá? Boa parte dessas técnicas estão no dia a dia e vocês vão se deparar com elas. E é sempre bom a gente pensar como que a gente pensaria, como que a gente se sentiria, se colocar na sandália ali, se colocar nos sapatos da outra pessoa, como eles falam a expressão em inglês, put yourself in somebody's shoes, and then Let's see how you feel, okay? All right, so thanks for participating. Let's go back to our presentation here. Please confirm to me that you guys are seeing Richard Thaler in your screen right now. Is that what you see? Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein. Todo mundo está vendo a tela do Nudge? Lá no chat. No, ainda vendo o questionário. Obrigado. Então deixa eu começar de novo aqui. Share screen. What about now? You guys are seeing Nudge, Richard Thaler, and Cass Sunstein? All right, thanks guys. So let's talk about nudge, empurrãozinho. Nudge, well, those are aspects of choice architecture. Check out this expression, choice architecture, arquitetura de escolha. Someone has rationally dedicated some time, some thinking to organize your options, okay? Choice architecture is a very good expression. So nudges are the aspects of choice architecture that tend to alter people's behavior in a predictable way without limiting any options or significantly changing their economic incentives. Então, são aspectos da arquitetura de escolha que tende a alterar o comportamento das pessoas de maneira previsível, sem limitar a escolha de outras opções e sem alterar significativamente o incentivo econômico. Wow, so it's something like subtle, é sutil. It's like just a little push, okay? All right, so let's have some look at these things. The first thing is to understand that choice architecture recognizes lots and lots of elements in decision making. We have three groups of elements, of factors in decision making. First, the individual factors, how busy your mind is, how fast and slow you have to make the decisions. Remember System 1 and System 2 from Daniel Kahneman's model? Pensar rápido e devagar, right? Fast and slow. We talked about this book. All right. Cognitive biases, pleasure or pain, consistency, all of those are individual, personal factors. But we also have contextual factors. And then we have here choice architecture. What are my options? What are the options that I can see and are more, I don't know, highlighted? Quais que estão destacadas para minha escolha, ok? All right, default bias, when we have default, opções padrões, many times these things will have these predictable ways in our choices. Feedback and reminders. Framing, remember this guys, framing, enquadramento, the way we present the options may affect your choice. Saliência, and timing. You know, the moment you offer the choices, all of those may affect people's decisions. And finally, social factors. You know, social norms, normas sociais. We are talking about how our image, how our status in a group may change if we make this or that choices, right? So if I'm with my daughter, 3 years old, and I'm in the supermarket, and I may end up not buying too many beers. I feel like, yeah, it's gonna be, I don't know, strange, you know, a father with a small kid and buying all that beer. It may look like strange, right? So other social factors, we have reciprocity, authority, trust, confiança, and liking or affect. So those are some of the issues that we discuss in persuasion, okay? But then again, let's have a look at some examples of nudges so we can see them in practice. I picked them up from this website, the startup. Let's have a look at this. Well, this is a funny one. If you are a girl, you may not recognize what you have ahead of you. Esse é um mictório. E lá no mictório tem lá um adesivo com o formato de uma mosquinha. So it's like people, when they are going to pee, they just look and say, yeah, this is a funny game. All right, so I'm going to try and not spill and not make a mess out of this bathroom. It turns out that it works. It is clearly a joke. Everybody notices that this is a joke, and they feel like, a good laugh. Yeah, it's funny, it's good, and it works. Okay? Let's have some other examples. Check this one here. Who is the best player in the world? Ronaldo or Messi? And then you are in a bus stop and you're smoking, and you look at this yellow plate, yellow announcement, big in front of you, and you say, this is funny. Yeah, this is cool. And just because of this intervention, people don't throw their cigarette butts on the streets. So this is funny. It's not invasive. It's not embarrassing in any way. It's just a game. And people do participate feeling good. All right, so you may ask yourself, come on, Luis, you're talking about small things. Do you think that you can use nudges to get big differences? Now, let me show you this one. This is in a subway station in Germany. Check this out, guys. Look at this picture. You are not taking the stairs from people. You are not taking the automatic stairs from the people. They can still take the automatic stairs, but they have the choice. They think it's funny to exercise a little bit more, and they say, yeah, this is funny, this is good. People laugh at it, and amazingly, it works. People do avoid the what's the name? Esqueci o nome de escada rolante. Anyway, I just forget how to say escada rolante in English. So people do take the stairs and they introduce exercises in their daily lives. It works, it's good, and it's healthy, right? You have other examples in the same way, but check this out. This is a very subtle way to say, if you are not walking, stay on the right so people can go through, right? All right, this is not a big deal. This is not going to change somebody's life, but it makes life easier. So that's what we're talking about, nudges. Nudges is about trying to make people take good options and make good choices, helping them out to make good choices. This is something more familiar. You probably have seen this before, but in some bathrooms, people remind you that 95% of people don't wash their hands properly after using the toilet. 95% of the people. If you see this, will you feel bad? I mean, is this somehow embarrassing? Do you feel sad? No, it's just an announcement. And you look at that and you say, yeah, I know. People are always in a hurry and they just skip with just a few waters, a little water in the hands, and they just walk off, right? So it's a good reminder and it works. Simple. You don't have to spend a lot of money and you improve people's health with things like that. Now, here we got an example that you may look from one side or the other. If you have ever gone to a restaurant, self-service, you know how big the plates get, right? This is not accidental. This is on purpose. So on the other hand, if you want to get in a diet and try to lose weight, a very effective way of doing so is eating in small plates or in bowls. It does work, I promise you. Look, guys, I know that, this is not anything embarrassing to anyone, but if something is used in a bad way, in a persuasive way, we could reverse it in a sense and try to do it the other way, how to help people to make good choices. Now, check this one. I think this is a bit too far. Look at this, guys. You have a plastic bag and you have a picture of a turtle being hanged by people's hand, right? This is way over the line, in my opinion. All right, so I don't think this is nudge. And by the way, check how would this thing be perceived by, I don't know, a 5-year-old kid. Imagine if you are walking down the aisle in a shopping mall and a small kid, look at this picture. That is, that is bad. It's violent in a way. And I can see that even though people understand it is just illustration, this is, in my opinion, it's over the line. This is not nudge. This is already persuasion. Do you see the difference? You guys understand the difference, right? This is not just a push trying to help people out. This will probably create bad feelings and will have some discomfort, at least to people who are passing by. So with these two last examples, we have to ask, what about the ethical aspects of nudging? How far can we go? How far we are free to go in trying to help people make good choices? Check this picture here. You have like someone kind of manipulating your brain so that you make a good choice. So we are talking here about something that most people refer to as paternalism, paternalismo. Maybe the state, the government, should not treat people as their kids, as its kids, right? Maybe we are trying to cross a line. Maybe we are going over what is to be done. And then this guy here, Brian Hengensbach, this guy came up with a very direct way to analyze nudges from an ethical perspective. Check this out. You have basically to worry about 3 things. First, autonomy. Are you taking people's choices away? Are you taking people's options away? If you are, well, you are restricting behavior. Maybe this is too much aggressive. Second thing, safety, and even emotional safety, right? You don't want to create embarrassment. You don't want to harass people or anything like that. And the last one, welfare. You want people to feel good. So if you increase these 3 things, that is good nudge. If you decrease these 3 things, you have to be careful. Maybe you are not to do that, okay? So with this on mind, let's have a look of what you can do. Well, please focus on purpose. What is the final goal in a nudge? Is it something that is considered to be enjoyable and desirable by the collective society in general? Or is it something that will somehow benefit a small group? So how noble are your purposes? Okay? Second one, incentives. Well, if you're talking about nudge, Incentives have to be just small changes, right? You don't want to change the economic incentives, right? Remember that. You're trying to say, look, we are helping you out here, but if you prefer some other option, it's okay. The third one, look at the mechanisms operating. Okay, try to limit biases, leave participation optional, leave people time, give people time to think and to decide. So all of this is saying like, be fair, be nice, be helpful. Don't try to manipulate. There you go. And finally, honesty. Honesty in general. In case of honesty, you have to make sure that you are transparent about that. Don't hide yourself. Don't hide your policy. Design it so that it is evident. What is your purpose? What is your intention? And eventually the care you took in order to design such an intervention. All right. I will give you guys here a tip, a suggestion. Have a look at this diagram, read it completely, and please come back to me next time we meet with any questions, okay? So we have lots and lots of information here. Check them out one by one each time, okay? And then if something does not make sense, please bring it back to our next session. All right, we have a deal? Okay, I'm just about to finish here. I'm just gonna introduce what it is you're gonna see in the video that I suggested to you, all right? So in this 5th week, I suggested you watch a video with Richard Thaler in which he's talking about sludge. What exactly is sludge? Well, sludge is the opposite of nudge. So in the case of sludge, what you have is friction, obstacle. You try to prevent people from make some choices, some free choices. And besides that, your intentions are bad. Wow. So this is like evil nudge. Yeah, is exactly. Sludge is like the evil nudge. Okay? You try to prevent people from acting, from expressing their free will, and you are holding people back. And your intentions are bad. You're trying to get ahead of them. You're trying to get better off them. Okay? So while Richard Thaler advocates nudging for good by making desirable behavior easier, a sludger or the sludge does the opposite. It makes a process more difficult in order to arrive at an outcome that is not in the best interest of the individual. And you may ask yourself, where is that? Where do you see that? Well, whenever you have to cancel a subscription and you have to call someone and you have to wait for 2 hours talking to different people just to have a subscription canceled, that is the classic case of sludge. All right? So you make it harder for people to take the choices that they want to take. The second example, and that is very unfortunately something that is widespread, is universal all over Brazil, is complicated or long government application forms. So now if you want to get a benefício assistencial, you have to fill out a form, you have to have a cell phone, you have to download the app, you have to input all your personal information, you have to sometimes take pictures, you have to do lots of stuff, and then you have to go to a very long line before you get that money. This is not nudge. This is the opposite of nudge. So if people want to retire in Brazil, you just want to retire, you have the right to retire. Você tem o direito de aposentar. But then here comes the INSS and say, bring me all your papers. Bring all the papers you have through the last 30 years. You say, come on, you are the government. You're supposed to have those informations, those data. They say, no, 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 you have to bring and show me. Come on, guys, this is sludge. And people are actually tortured by it. So we're going to talk a little bit more about sludge next time. And please try and watch this video that I suggested to you. There are some examples here. This video, okay? I posted it at our WhatsApp group, and I also posted it in our blog, economia.blogspot.com. Okay? Let me see here. Questions, suggestions, complaints. What do you guys have for me? I don't think you have anything for me today, tonight. All right, guys. So enjoy your Friday. Be safe, be healthy, take care of yourselves and your family. And I will stop recording here and stick around here for a few more minutes if you want to talk to me. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.